Hello, man. I know it's late. I just wanted to make a quick video on something. I was just browsing through, and doing this is just easier than me pulling out my video editor and doing a screenshot and all that. Uh, so sometimes when you're on Google, you type something in, you're looking for something, and you type in something about men. Like today, right? I was looking for interesting things, beautiful things men do. Like men build bridges, men build streets, they build buildings, huge buildings, all sorts of beautiful, beautiful things. So I typed in beautiful things men do. What do you think happened when I typed in beautiful things men do? Well, I could show you what happened. This is beautiful things men do. 23 answers. The question, what was the most beautiful? Beautiful means things do about women. 12 most attractive things do without realizing. So it's about being attractive. So what else is there? Men share their hearts to take on women. That's a beautiful thing men do for women. Men share their hearts to take on women. 17 sweet things that men do for women that you would never ask. Irresistible things women do. 10 pitfalls of dating beautiful women. So I went back and I put it in capital letters. Beautiful things men do, not women. So that's what came back. Pictures of women, all the pictures of women, everything's filtered through women. Everything's filtered through women. Everything we do is filtered through women. Do I take men seriously when they tell me I'm beautiful? And 9 things men notice about women. That's not beautiful things men do. Men build bridges. Men build our infrastructure. 12 things men wear that beautiful women love. Everything's filtered through women. This is what you get on the internet. This is what you get in press. 3 annoying things men do that women hate. Dating and relationship advice for men. 30 things women wish they knew. 22 things men wear that's the same one. Beautiful women hate. 4 things men can do. Go back. Beautiful things men do. Men. I capitalized it. James is on the other line. I got to go see what James wants. Late night podcast. Awesome. You want to join? Yeah, let me go back this. I was going to say you want to join. I'll send him a link if he wants to join. But that's what we get. And it is seriously just pisses me off. It seriously pisses me off because there's much more to men than what women think. Let me see. James Denton. Okay, invite. Yeah. There's much more to us men than what we can do for women, what we do for the world, what we do absolutely beautiful things. Let's go back to this page and I'll share this again for you. And we can type this in 10 different ways. And it's always going to come out. No, that's my other page. I set this new page up. It's controversial things. I'll go back to the right page. Okay, there it is. And this just really irritates me. It just really irritates me that everything about this page, 30 things men wish they knew about women. It's not beautiful things about women. It's the question is, and Google's supposed to have this algorithm figured out. The question is, let me put my earphones in because I'm probably echoing the fuck out of you guys right now. Is beautiful things men do. It's not what we get from women, what we can make women do. It's not the question has nothing to do about women. James, how you doing?
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, was I echoing?
No, everything's good. Good audio.
Okay, I just plugged in. I was going through Mgtow, or I was going through Google, and it just irritated the living just bejeebers out of me, and I had to start a podcast. I was going to do a short video podcast about this. And do you see that question up there?
Beautiful things men do.
Yeah. What do you think the answer to that is? Google's going to
I
give you.
assume it's going to be some kind of bullshit, gynocentric thing that men do, that simps, not men, but simps
Simps.
do for women.
Simps do. Look at these pictures. There's one man and he's acquiescing to a woman, and the rest has to do with women. 17 sweet things guy do. So I went and I put men in capital letters because the algorithm's supposed to pick that up.
So instead of showing buildings,
Yeah,
structures, doing research, construction, and everything, pretty much building the world, they show this bullshit.
They show this bullshit. And it inflamed me. 6 physical characteristics men can't resist. It's all about women. Every single question. And even on the questions they suggest that I re-ask, right there, beautiful things to do before you die. Long hair, life. Nothing in here is about a man. It's all for women. And it's just, man, it lit me on fire.
Yeah, well, that's it's always been like that. You know, I've been actually reading some older books by Heinlein.
Mm-hmm.
He writes. He's the guy who wrote books like Starship Troopers.
Okay, Starship Trooper, and yeah,
any other classical science fiction books, just interesting political books as well. And you know, a second read of his work, and it's completely gynocentric. Everything. I mean, it's all his male characters are just complete tools for women.
They're just simps, and yeah, it gets really frustrating around here when I'm reading or I'm trying to get, and it looks like for the last 200 years, the male pathos, the male being, the male psyche has been overlooked because no one really knows. And it looks like Mgtow for the first time in history are asking, what are really men? What men are? What's the being of men? And everybody goes, it's to get a woman. Or it's what you can do for a woman. It's how much money you can make for a woman. And that's what Google does to us all day long.
It's not just Google. It's every movie, every
movie,
commercial, every cartoon, every every series on TV, like such as Friends, even Dexter. You know, there's this pathological killer, right?
Yeah,
I mean, even there, he's really just a simp. At the very end, he's still. They show him he's a simp.
Yeah, I've been watching Dexter, and he had the crazy girlfriend, and she probably would have been better for him. But the blonde girl and everything
That's right.
does.
They used up, right? They used up. Oh, I mean, baby mama, right? She was a baby mama, and he
she
just
was the baby mama.
Yeah.
God, man, it just gets so frustrating when you start trying to. Mgtows, we often ask this question is, what is my worth in this world? What is my value? What is my and we want to have some worth. That's why we need we need some validation that we are worthful, at least, that we're not just slaves. And then I go and I look for decent, honest, beautiful things men do, and all I get is what you can do for a woman. Ah, and I see it some days, but I don't really see it because I'm desensitized to it. And when I watch the TV, and I just kind of put up with it, and rarely do I get this upset. But today, it was just a long line of how my uh, how my very being, how my essence is just filtered through the female, and that's all I am, and
You
it's
know,
sad.
yeah, I've been trying to read some of the older books that I used to read, and I got to be honest with you, all of them are gynocentric. All of them are like that.
Yeah,
Every comment, everything written is, simpish.
yeah, it's simpish. And I just watched the new Moby Dick movie, and then they changed that. And did you see it?
No, no, but I mean, they changed everything with regards to, for example, Ghostbusters, right? Now it's
Yeah.
all female cast.
Oh yeah, yeah. So instead of starting out with the classic, they call me Ishmael, and it's the boy walking up to the ship, and he's going to become and it's about a man. It's about uh, the book Moby Dick is about. It's probably one of the only non-gynocentric books out there that it's about a boy's coming to age. It's about he's going to become a man. So they made the new Moby Dick with the simp Thor guy. I can't remember his name. The guy, the good-looking blonde guy that plays Thor,
Hmm.
and it's about a whale, but it's about his quest to get home to his wife and his children. It's about a story that Mill, what's his name, that wrote that book. Uh, God, I can't remember his name now. It's about the author asking this guy questions, and his wife sitting there in the background telling him, "It's okay, honey, you can tell him."
Well, the book, The Count of Monte Cristo,
Okay.
was also actually not gynocentric. In the book, he never took his ex back once she found out that he was the count, that he was the same, the
Yeah,
guy from before. But in the movie that they made, both versions, he takes her back and everything after she got banged and used up by another man. So that's what they do.
that's what they do. They change it. We can't even have a simple a simple book that tells, there should be just some simple book out there that tells us, what men are at their beings. You
And
got to spend your whole life trying to find that out.
yeah, another interesting thing, Russian literature is actually all of it. Well, not all of it. I guess majority of it that at least I read was not simpish, because even our kind of movies back in the day in the 80s, main characters actually end up dying at the very end. But for example, our book, Stanislav Lem, he
Okay.
writes the type of fiction that he writes is about humanity's inability to understand uh, other creatures that would be evolving in different environments and just completely, or alien in entities that are thinking in different ways. Anyways, there's this book. I'm sure you're familiar with it, Solaris, right?
Okay.
It's basically about this intelligent planet and inability
Yeah.
for the two to communicate, for humanity to communicate, or people to communicate with this kind of the planet Solaris. And Solaris, it manifests the people's dreams. So.
Okay.
Uh, And the book, it's about this idea, the inability to communicate between two completely distinct organisms. But Americans, they have remade the book with George Clooney,
George
the
Clooney.
movie Solaris, and the whole movie is about the relationship between him and his dead wife.
Right. Yeah, I seen that. It's like I don't think I briefed the book maybe a little bit, but even that they just tear it up, and they make it about the relationship to the woman. And I can't remember what the girl who played his wife is, but
She was from the movie Californication. She also was in.
Californication. Yeah, yeah. He was fixated. His whole life was about being
Mhm.
fixated on his dead wife, and I know how painful that could be. You know, losing someone and everything,
Right,
but it wasn't the book. You know, the
right,
point is that the book was totally different.
right.
Oh man, man.
Well, I mean, they expose you to enough of that. If every time you turn on TV, if every time you read a book is all about that, I mean, it's indoctrination,
Yeah, it's
propaganda.
indoctrination. Oops, did I lose you?
No, no, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, I was just putting that back up because I wanted to. I usually can do the scroller while I'm on here so I can see what I'm doing. I was going to try changing the wording a little bit and to see if we can get actually something about men. Let's see, how would I do this? Things men do. Let's see if things men do would work.
Well, I'm pretty sure even there you won't be able to find much now because now, at least for the past couple of years, right, everything is going to be written about women are doing this and that, and women are doing this
Yeah.
and this. So,
Yeah, 10 things you only real men can do. Now that's ask men. 20 things. Okay, here we go. 21 things men do that women don't understand. 12 things that men do to make women, women, and then more women, and more women. I said man. I didn't
and then
say
finally the worst thing man can do. I mean, it's everything.
it's
There's
everything. We
it's
get
it's
two
it's
Mgtow videos in there.
it's either about women or blaming man.
Yeah, or blaming, or how bad men. cute things men do that can melt a woman's heart. 12 things that men do to make women fall in love with them. 13 things. This is men, capital letters, men. Let's try a different thing. Uh, what
But
would
Joe,
be
what do you expect? I mean, what are
let's just
majority of
let's just
of,
put in
of
men and see what
good?
happens. Men. The first thing, men killing women. Men's shoes, men's party, Macy's, men's apparel, men's clothing, men's fashions, men's warehouse. Okay, if you type in men, then you're a shopping machine. Beautiful men. I don't know what that is about. So we got that, and it's just if you're shopping, then you're a man. If you're thinking, then you're subject to being filtered through a woman. That pisses me off.
But what do you expect if 99% of men are simps? If 99% of men are doing nothing but pussy begging, putting pussy on
Pussy
the
begging.
pedestal,
Yeah,
or buying or purchasing something for women? I mean, what would you expect to see on Google? I mean, the Google optimizes the search based on what people are searching for, and if majorities
yeah,
are doing this type of searches on this, majorities are all about shopping, about finding out how to get some pussy or whatever, then that's what's gonna pop up as first results in Google. That's just how it's optimized. So you're seeing basically a reflection of what humanity is today.
yeah. That's it. It's whatever they can sell to us. If they can't sell it to us, or if they can't make no money off of us, it's not important to us. It was just I'm finally looking at the hello Zeta, hello Dr. McCoy. I just decided hello Devlin. Who else is in the room? James, you're in the room, and there's just 5 people. But uh, I just got irritated with what I was seeing. Totally irritated, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know if we can do anything about it. Uh, but it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. I can't even think of a. Can you think of a philosopher that simply talks about being a man? Winninger, maybe Otto Winninger.
How about
But
Nietzsche?
Nietzsche, does he talk about like? Let me see. Let me think for a second. Nietzsche. Yeah, yeah. Freud goes like totally. That it's all about mother male need and everything like that, and
Schopenheimer, or how
Oh,
I'm mispronouncing.
Chopin, yeah,
Yeah.
I can't pronounce his name now. Schopenhauer, yeah,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, he did some pretty good stuff. I was reading him the other day, a matter of fact. Uh, but there's very little men's knowledge, and yeah, when you read, say Nietzsche on Nietzsche about, or maybe Jung too about being, when he talks about just be. And Winninger talks about Otto Winninger a lot. Talks about the steps of. He complains about women, and then he tells the men the steps about just being, and how to move from one be. You're being here, and then move to the next. You're being here again, and then you're being, and that's what you need to do is just be. And that's the biggest struggle for men. And when we look out over this, we can see that men just don't want to be. They they just want their life to be, just everything about doing, a human doing, about doing for women, about doing a job, building a building. That's beautiful stuff that we do and all, but it's never about being a person. It's never about being a being. It's just sadness about what you can do. Hey,
Yeah.
Zeta, what are they talking about now? The sinus cleanse.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, yeah. Pop culture too. It's all in pop culture. Uh, Everything about what can Mgtow do? What do you think Mgtow can do about this? This just start tagging. Tagging. This is
Now we're too small. It's not gonna make a major effect. If you're talking about the pebble in an ocean,
yeah, yeah. We got to get millions and millions of hits out there that when we talk about men, we
it's not
emphasize the.
even, yeah, even that's not gonna be enough. I mean, there's just too. I mean, we represent 0.0001%.
Yeah, yeah. Joe, you and the people need to confirm to society that others that and other collective groups. Joe, you are, people need to conform. Yeah, we need to conform to society and other collective groups. Reyes is saying, but that's what we are. That's all we do is conform to the collective that certain that egalitarian collective for women that everybody talks about, that the sexual cryptus. You are all. We all think that the woman, the children, they're our biggest deeds. You know, until you go Mgtow and you figure out that, man, you should have been your biggest deed.
Yeah.
Hmm. But too late sometimes. It's frustrating, and it's yeah. Now we gotta go. Now I have to go to bed depressed tonight thinking about this. That's why I was gonna just try to get it out a little, so I could sleep. Uh, you know, and be in a decent, halfway decent mood. My parts came in, by the way.
Ah, good.
Yeah, I've been waiting for my parts for a week. It's like, just sitting here waiting for parts is frustrating. Oh,
I'm still printing my parts,
you're still printing your parts?
testing out different materials. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if I could. You gotta. If I sent you a little clip to an end of a bow,
Yeah, I can print it. I will make a 3D design first, and
can
then I can print it. Or
Yeah,
if you think there's already design out there, I think I already might have sent you the link to a website called Thingiverse,
okay,
and they have a whole bunch of open already designs there. They might have that kind of clip, and if not, then if you send me the part, I will send you my address, obviously in private.
okay,
Then I can make a 3D design and then have it printed. And then the only thing you would need to specify is which material that you want me to use. If you
that's
want
the
me to use soft nylon or industrial strength, high strength nylon.
yeah,
Nylons are the best one if you're going to be using it for actual real world applications, because that
right,
stuff is just, I mean, it's
yeah.
high
The problem
temperature.
is You buy these mini bows, and they got the two plastic clips on the side. On each side, you stick them in, and you put the bowstring on it. They made
Hmm.
them too brittle, and they crack.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
then,
nylon will never crack. No.
yeah, that's I was man. I was trying to figure out what I can do. I wrapped tape and did some put some rubberized tool dip on it, but that's only going to last like a little bit of time. Yeah. So I was thinking, man, how can
Yeah,
I
there's two
gotta,
ways you can do it. You can either send me one of the clips, and then I can, like I said, make it a 3D design and print it and send you a whole bunch of clips. Or another way, you can take like pictures of it and from different directions, and then
okay,
give
with the
me the
size.
measurements and angles and so on, so I can recreate it. Basically, what the amount of information I would need to create a 3D design, because you need to have a 3D design to print something.
Right. Yeah. It's
So there are
just,
two ways to do it. The easiest
yeah.
would be just to send me one of the clips, and
Yeah.
I can
Send
just
you
do
one
it.
of the clips. Yeah. Maybe I'll do
Or,
that. Maybe,
or if you have the name of the clip, or and you think there's already something out there, that's like, then I can search, and maybe there's already,
yeah. Now
something like
that's
that.
the problem. I wanted to buy a dozen or so. So in case
Hmm.
I'm out and the clip breaks. And I was like, I went to go buy the clip, and it's like, no, I have to buy the string and the clip to get the two clips that I know are going to break again. So I'm going to
Yeah,
end up with,
just send me the link to those clips. I can probably find them, or I can find already probably files for them, and then I
yeah,
can just print from there. And if
yeah,
I
it's
don't
just,
find it, then you'll need to send me the clip or the.
yeah, it's a super like important part. The rest of the bow is nice, and the spring steel is nice in it. The actual design's nice. The
Mhm.
handle's nice. Everything works nice, except for once in a while you shoot that thing, and then the clip breaks and the string pops off and hits your hand.
Yeah, like I said, once I print it with nylon, it should be not a problem.
Yeah,
They're very very sturdy. I mean, this the stuff is like, it's
yeah. I was
better than
thinking,
carbon fiber and polycarbonate, at least in my experience.
yeah. So I made up a target inside the house. I was gonna put that video up today. I put one of those female fists, the pink female fist. So I put it up against the wall, and since it's my own house and I'm the only guy here, I was shooting out of my bedroom while I was doing the podcast earlier across the living room into the box with the arrows.
Mhm.
So it hit, and I was trying to adjust the sight on it. The sight, the bows, they go every which way once in a while, but I hit like from there 20 25 about 25 yards, well, not 25, yeah, about 15 yards. I hit it pretty much uh five times on the box, and hit it once dead center in the middle of the feminist fist. That was the beautiful shot. It was a
Are the arrows carbon fiber or metal, or what are they?
oh
Steel?
no, I bought the aluminum ones with the weighted aluminum ones. I'm gonna throw away the plastic ones that they give you, and I bought the aluminum ones. They're really nice. They're a little weighted, and they're much sharper than the plastic ones. It's more of a like uh, a hunting arrow, and it's only about, there's like 6 inches long. It's just a
Is it a
rod.
composite bow, or what kind of bow is it?
No, it's metal. It's got metal
Okay.
spring steel,
Mm.
and it's just like a little mini crossbow.
Ah.
Big fun for guys. Hey guys, you can get them for like $11 on Amazon right now. That's the problem. All the clips were breaking and people were sending them back, so now they're reducing the price. So I bought two of them, but I can fix that clip problem. I know I can fix that clip problem.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I said, send me a link. I'll have it printed.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. So what are you doing up so late? Just you got your printer going still?
Yeah, programming pretty much, just working.
You're just working programming? Yeah, I was about to give it up. I watched another movie today. I watched that Gods of Egypt. I stole it.
Mm.
I haven't
Revenant
taken.
was okay.
Oh yeah, I watched that yesterday. Revenant. That was a really. That wasn't. Yeah, that was. Well, it had some gynocentric parts. He was,
Towards the end. Yeah.
yeah, he was thinking about his wife all the time. But had some good scenes with his son with the and boy, that's just he just goes through it. That's a true movie, isn't it? It's taken from a book,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
and
interesting.
Yeah, he just goes through it. He gets mauled by a bear and falls off a cliff and gets chased all around. He's running from Indians while he's gimping out and can't talk. His throat was just tore open, and it was more of a manly. It had a more manly. What's that kid? Leonardo DiCaprio. So he's
Yeah,
growing up now. So
yeah. His last few movies, I mean, his first movies were not didn't really like them, but now they're quite good.
yeah, yeah, I didn't like him because he had that boyish face that you just wanted to hit, just punch. And,
Yeah.
and it's like, uh, I couldn't stand it's Titanic, especially. I had to suffer through that movie with my ex-wife,
Yep.
and it's a long movie too. And you just sit there and you're suffering the whole time and going, "Yeah, this is great." You know what else I suffered through? What was it?
What?
Reds.
Reds?
Reds. Yeah, 4 hours of Reds.
Never
That
seen
was
it.
in the movie thing when it came out in the like 1980s. It was that was the longest movie ever made at that point, and it was a girl movie, and
Hmm.
you took your girl there. And we sat there in a movie theater for like so many hours and just. Hey, Zeta said The Hateful Eight. I haven't watched The Hateful Eight. I was looking for that today to steal it, but
I have. It's actually quite good.
it's quite good. You like that one?
Oh, I really love the ending. Zeta, what did you think about the ending? That was probably the best part. Am I right?
Let's see what Zeta says about that. We should invite Zeta in. He hasn't been on today yet. I was going off Zeta about gynocentrism. I couldn't hold it no more. So I did a
Nice,
late
nice.
night.
See,
Oh,
he liked the ending. Really great ending.
yeah, I gotta watch that. They made there was one that came out and they're making these Western the Hateful Eight, the Ridiculous Seven, and Sci-Fi came out with theirs. Yes, it was zombies, cowboy zombies or something this week. That's
Haven't seen
called
it yet.
Yeah, it's called the something seven, the zombie killing seven or something. So they sci-fi came out with their version of the Ada's name is not coming up, which is really weird. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so everybody got to make their their Western movie now. I think even Netflix, yeah, Netflix made The Ridiculous Six,
But
which was
there's a lot of money in no matter how terrible the movie is, the cost of producing something like a movie and the amount of revenue you can generate from it are incredible.
oh yeah, yeah. If you hit on something, it's a new idea.
Even if it's not so that much, even
Yeah,
if it's
even
only a little bit.
if
Hey Zeta, turn off your camera. You're
I
gonna
am.
dox your.
yeah,
I am. Hang on. There we
okay.
go. Two
You
secs.
Yeah, you're gonna show all eight of our viewers your
Yeah, I know.
your
Oh man, there
handsomeness,
he
your
is.
awesome handsomeness.
Okay, just kill it. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey Zeta, how you doing? Didn't
How's it
get to
going
talk to you earlier. Yeah, I was sitting here going to Google and I typed something in and it came back so gynocentric. I clicked on and had to make a quick video.
Well, The Hateful Eight was hilarious, so I highly recommend. That's a good Mgtow movie.
It's a
Um,
Mgtow?
aside from all the gynocentric, I've checked out a few movies lately, and everything that's Hollywood's pumping out, it's just loaded and over embellishing and making it ridiculously beyond reality, even in a fantasy movie where we can see through that, right? But
Yeah,
it's just nuts. It's just crazy, and I mean, we can see it, right?
yeah. What is the guy that
Yeah.
he used to do
So,
film reviews and he used to about the gynocentrism in the movies. He used to be a big MGTOW, but he's even. It seems like the more we complain about the gynocentrism, the more they go into it, isn't it?
it seems that way. it seems that way. Is you know what? I can't make any sense of it. It's like I took a break from television, and and I used to work in that industry years ago, about 7, 8 years ago, and I
Hmm.
took a break completely from Hollywood. But now just recently, just for the hunch, I just wanted to check out a couple of movies, and it's like, I think the last time I went to the theater was Avatar. Okay, that's how far back I've gone, and even
Wow.
before that, I hadn't
Avatar.
seen. I think for me, after the Lord of the Rings, everything just shut down, man. It's over graphic, over this, over that. It's way over the top nowadays. But the Revenant was refreshing in a sense.
Yeah,
I
The
found
Revenant was
that was
okay.
a refreshing flick, and maybe it's just my generation. I like those old Bernardo Bertolucci epic films, and even from the 50s and stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't know. There seems to be things are way overdone nowadays. And then you throw in gynocentric bullshit into the mix. You know, you know.
Yeah, now that's the problem, I think if they ever made like a remake of like High Plains Drifter or something like that, the spaghetti westerns, they
Oh,
would
it's
make
not going to work, Joe. I don't think so.
the
Those Sergio Leone films remakes? No,
yeah.
no. It'll be worse than Goat Busters.
Yeah, it'd be worse
That's
than
coming out.
Ghostbusters. They'll get some Mangina playing Clint Eastwood, and then they're gonna bring in a woman character, and then they're gonna have him wimping or simping or begging for it. And
Yeah, actually, Kill Bill was enough.
oh
That's
God,
what
Kill Bill.
was enough. Thanks.
Oh man, we heard that name. I heard that name about 5 times this week. Everybody's been like, I don't want to ever see another Kill Bill.
No, that was pretty much done and over with. I think that's I don't think you can make Quentin remake any Quentin Tarantino movies. I think it's impossible. Cult
Yeah.
movies have a set niche, and it's made, it gets the attention, and it's replayed as the years go by. That becomes a cult flick. You can't remake it. I heard that they're going to do a remake of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Imagine that.
Oh, that was that was too much for me, and when it was
Yeah,
out.
yeah. What was it, 1975 when it came out? And
Yeah.
then every Friday night, almost every major city in North America was doing a showing, and everybody. I don't know if I have went to a Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Did you?
where
Yeah.
they acted it out on. They did the whole theatrics alongside with the movie. I mean, this was
Yeah.
played
They
all
used to
throughout
throw
North
certain
America.
things, and yeah. Did you have friends that did that at that time? Like,
Yeah, I admit I do.
yeah, me
This
too. I
was the
had.
thing to do on a Friday night, man. Get court, get stoned, and head over to the Roxy where they'd show the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's here in
Yeah.
Toronto. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it was part of the scene, man. That was the
Yeah.
thing to do on a Friday night.
They used to show it on the news once in a while, just for something, the late night news on Friday night. And here's the people coming out of the Rocky Horror Picture, and they were all dressed up like the girl and the guy, and they had their favorite character. You dressed up as your favorite character, and they're coming out, and they were like almost snickering, going, "Look at the freaks."
Well, that's the way it was, man. Back in the '70s, all these things started to pop out. I mean, let's face it, that was the spark of all this women's liberation. It wasn't called feminism back then. It was called women's lib. Remember, Joe?
Yeah, was that a Meatloaf? Was Meatloaf in that? No.
No, it wasn't Meatloaf. It was Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, that's right.
Tim Curry, of course, plays the transsexual, and
Okay.
a couple other actors that made it. Yeah, it's just a Google away.
Okay, yeah. James said goodbye, guys. He's reading and doing he's doing man work at late night on a Sunday, and
There you go.
it was good to have James in for a while. We just started talking about movies. I was just upset about what I came up with when I typed that thing in. That's why I couldn't sleep until I said something about it.
Mhm. So we had an interesting, an interesting throwdown this afternoon, Joe.
Oh yeah, it was Warhorse and Shining, and who else was in? There was
Over
one of
4 hours.
Yeah, it was over 4 hours, and we just kept talking and talking about things. And interesting thing, I can't even remember what the we started off with Mgtow
Uh huh.
and purpose of becoming a Mgtow after you become a Mgtow. I think the steps are wrong. Uh, at first, you kind of see it. You have your red pill awakening, and that's like step one, where you're seeing things, and then you become a Mgtow, and then you're learning how to be a Mgtow, and then once you transcend from Mgtow or Mgtow, and it's all about you for a while, it becomes all about what you can do, what you can be. And
It's so convoluted right now, Joe. And I think, and I'd like to hear, I have a theory on that. I think we need another 5 years of
yeah,
Mgtow on YouTube in order for somebody or a group of guys or whomever, okay, just to look and observe these things because it's so convoluted right now. Okay. I mean, we've got to break things down to the awakening. Okay.
right.
Which
It is
is,
the awakening.
like for me, I'm getting out of this whole red pill, blue pill thing. I want to start talking in concrete language, which, and probably there's going to be guys like me who want to get into a group and get into solid, hardcore discussion and start,
Yeah.
removing all this fluff. You know what I mean, Joe?
Yeah,
Maybe that's
remove all
part
the
of the
fluff.
evolution.
That's what it is. Because after a while, when you become a Mgtow,
Yeah.
the real Mgtow, the solid core Mgtow, it's just about men and you and what all the things we've missed in our lives about what these things people didn't tell you about being a man.
Well, that's just it, Joe. And that's part of the discovery is, you take that proverbial pill or that awakening, and then you're going to get, you go through phases. Some guys, but we've got enough evidence now, so to speak. There are guys that go through a depressive phase
Yeah.
for a couple of months on end, and then there are guys that are on a fucking rage fit and are pumping out videos one after the other, and and being
Howard.
guilted as the low hanging fruit, making themselves out to get snatched by somebody who's ready to fucking you know do a response video, right? So
Yeah.
it's convoluted, man. It's convoluted. There's so many different men out there. The only thing we can really look at now, I mean, maybe it's just me saying it, my limitation, but you know this needs to be looked at, over a given period of time, and we haven't had the time to really see and hear men. There's new videos popping up every day and guys coming in with a different angle, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
But I think it's important that we start refining it down to, it's time, isn't it? It's time to, just talk about men, and it's just where we don't even. It's remember the old rule we had.
mhm.
We weren't allowed to say the F word.
Okay. Yeah, I remember.
Email.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And yeah, that was a good rule. I like that rule. I'm going to get
Well, I
back to
think
that.
that rule still holds true. I mean, if you're talking just about the throwdowner in our group, we've kept pretty much just guys only,
Yeah.
scenario since we started this last year. So
Yeah, I was going over. I typed in. Did you hear the beginning of this podcast?
no, I think I missed. I just tuned in a few minutes afterwards after it
Yeah.
loaded up in the G Plus.
Oh, I can just go back and show you. Uh, I typed in beautiful things men do.
Yeah, I remember that talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guess what I
and
got?
of course, what'd you get again?
How to be irresistible to a woman. 10 pitfalls about dating a woman. Uh, I even put it in capital letters. I put men in capital letters. And how to be more beautiful and attractive to a woman. 9 stupid things women do or men do. It's all about women. It's all about love affairs, and it's about dating relationships, and it's about the complexity of women and how you can be better for them. And
Yeah.
there's nothing here, and maybe it's just Mgtow has to write it
Well,
because
I think we're the ones seeing between the cracks. Everything's like a lattice fence has been placed in front of people. We're the ones that are widening the lattice and seeing through it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm asking questions. I want to, I told you this story about sometimes you see men do amazing things in your life,
Mhm.
amazing physical things, from your workplace to, sports to, we see it in the sports, the replay of the one-handed catch or
Mhm.
the awesome hockey shot and everything.
Or those
But
Olympic, gold medal winning moments.
yeah, those Olympic and those even get played down to some femininity. But every day in your life, when you go to work, you're just going to look up sometime and some man's going to do something extraordinarily beautiful,
Well,
physically,
you know,
mentally.
Joe, I think the media and the governments and the way it's going in the Western world is going to demise the male achievement or accomplishment in that regard. I mean, uh, if they're going to react to that scientist that landed the probe on Mars because he was wearing the shirt, everybody knows his name
Yeah.
last year. Okay, I mean, all this becomes cumulative in the media. Okay, people are going to, and this is what people are going to end up believing. But I
Yeah.
see the demise, and maybe it's because of the immediate society I live in, which is probably one of the most feminized, as I've mentioned many a times. You know, I kind of feel duped in many regards that I can't see, you know, what it's like beyond a feminized, gynocentric society. You know,
Yeah, that's what it's like. I
Mhm.
think Hartburn's got that picture on his wall.
Yeah.
Did you see? Yeah, let me share it for you.
Oh, which
That
one?
one.
Yeah, he had something of interest. I just need a refresher here. What he had? Do you have a picture of it?
Yeah, let me put it up. Yeah, can you see it now?
Mm, I see it
Oops.
on.
Yeah, I got it now.
Yeah, you got it here on. Yeah.
Yeah, the classic picture of the men
Mhm.
sitting on the
Yeah.
scaffolding, and you got about 10 of those. There's the guy on the. Let me see if I can find a couple more. There's that one, the guy climbing the rope,
Mhm.
and then there's that one, the guy just sitting out there on the ledge doing something, and then stuff like this. But it's all 1950s. They don't
Oh,
show it
and they
anymore.
didn't health and safety codes, and
Yeah,
look at those guys nowadays. They're not wearing any helmets. That wouldn't fly. With all the health and safety crap that they have.
yeah,
I mean, rightfully so, but
yeah. There's things. There's these things men do that these are the only pictures, and
mhm.
they're from the 20s, 30s, and
Men as utilities.
and it's just yeah. It's look at the and very very few of these is they're just work pictures. It's yeah, where utilities were and it's frustrating. It's just really frustrating, and they don't say that. Look at this beautiful thing that men do, you
Mhm.
know, and nope, nope. It's all about what you can do for the gynocentric and lay your life on the line, and I think that's a beautiful picture there of the men sitting there. I think that's masculine. The masculinity, it's just
Most of the world's problems or the day's events get resolved when guys get together for the smoke break or for lunch break, in a
yeah,
trench, on a construction site, and they're sitting side by side, chomping away on the sandwiches, or maybe one of the guys went out and got subs that day. Those are golden moments, man. Okay.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
thing is it flies right past guys, right?
R-
They don't even realize that at that moment, right? That they're, sitting down having a smoke, okay, or having a coffee, that bonding's going on. This is really all we have, right?
Yeah.
Because buddy's married there, he's got to go home, and probably the marriage is going south. That
Yeah.
coffee break or something that got said that moment made his day for him to, you know, go and put up, with, the wife he's got to contend with, who's probably
Right.
thinking of a
Yeah.
divorce 6 months down the road and presenting it.
Right. They
Joe?
never. Yeah. They show the drama in
Yeah.
Hollywood, and they show the male as long as it's filtered through a woman. But like you said, that moment where you know, and in my life, I can only relate to my life when three men are sitting there in front of a 1,000-ton press, and you got to put a new shaft in there, and you got to put two
Yep.
huge bearings in there, and it
Yep.
looks like it looks like a problem and then the men start talking and they're figuring it out. And then the next time you look up, they got it done. And then
Yeah,
you go, oh my God, they just put that huge piece of metal in there, put the yoke on, they put the motor on, and now it's running and it's a machine making parts.
that's
And
right.
and they don't show that. You'll never see that in Hollywood, like them showing the how men do these things that
Oh, it
are
would take a
almost,
director who's in the know and that can capture that properly. Okay, for
yeah.
what you're talking about, I'm sure that there are film directors out there
Oh
that can
yeah, like the
capture that
building
moment
of
right here, Joe.
the Empire State Building,
Yeah.
make a movie about the complexities about, we're at floor 23 and we got to get these I-beams, and now we got the elevator shaft dead here, and we got to switch the elevator shaft over to the middle, and
Mhm.
then you got to switch it back and forth, and now we got to do this, and we got to platform this section, and then these guys they're brainstorming how to do this, and it's all where are we going to get the steel? Is the steel coming in? Are the riveters showing up today?
Yeah.
It's what's the union doing? And can we get some more guys? That's all. It's all very male and very male centric. But now it would be like what some guy's old lady was thinking about when she looked over and seen him working on the building. It all has to be filtered to the female.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we touched base on that, Joe, as females in an authority position and decision, with a budget, manipulating situations
Mhm.
like that, and getting full use of the utility of a guy, and let's say he's a contractor, Joe. Remember we talked about this,
Yeah.
trying to get the max out of him for as little penny as possible. Bullshit like that.
Yeah, yeah. Now, if they did make a movie about like the building of the Empire State Building or the Twin Towers or something like that, it would be like how Mary Jones, the accountant, had played a major role in that.
No, Mary Jones, the project manager.
Yes, the project manager.
Yeah, you got to have that title because it's a title that will take on praise and shit like that.
Yeah. You heard about Carnegie and you heard about Ford, but have you ever heard about Mary Jones, the account
Yeah.
manager?
Yeah, such is the
They
world
just
we live in now.
they just did that in Cincinnati with the Cincinnati Bengals.
What was that?
Oh God, it was so horrible. Paul Brown, the classic Paul Brown football player.
Yeah, but from back in the day.
Yeah, he was like the prototypical manager football player. He was like a hero to a lot of people. He was the Jim Brown guy. He came
Yeah,
under Mark Modell, left, went to Cincinnati, started the Cincinnati Bengals, and then he hired a general manager, and the general manager needed a secretary,
hmm
so he hired his wife, which would just happen to be Paul Brown's daughter.
okay.
So guess who they did a story about the other day?
Who?
Paul Brown's daughter, how important she is to the franchise, because she's she's doing contractual talks, and contractual talks for in a business situation is how much money she can save the company so they can pay her.
Well, exactly. So that it'll be her bonus, right?
That'll be, yeah, that'll be, and she's Paul. It's like about nepotism. It's about the general manager's wife. It's about uh, her job is one of those lighter than air jobs that were manufactured to get the money back from the actual players that were doing the work. You know, More gynocentrism, and they're going to celebrate that.
Yeah. And it's going to keep on going. It's just going to, this is the thing. And this is why I highly recommend guys to start their own businesses.
Yeah,
It
start
might
your
be a
own business.
double-edged sword, and we talked about this the other day, Joe, about so
It's tough.
some of the details we were faced with our businesses.
Yeah,
You were sharing about how you're trying to, and you're dealing with that particular scenario. Maybe we can discuss that a bit.
yeah,
How we're handling our businesses.
trying to change, trying to figure out what's happening in the sector and what's needed, and we talked about the industrial lighting situation, and I was thinking about going into the industrial lighting because they have the new bulbs and everything, and the new and
At the
every store.
LED.
Yeah, the LED, and it's a good idea for some of you guys get familiar with the LED situations. And I was reading up on them today. Actually, they have a rear port for the ballast, and it's
Mhm.
36 volts. It's yeah, 120 to 36 volts, and they got LEDs in there. It's a I can't remember the number on it. It's a T80, I think, a T80 or
Mhm.
96. It goes by the 46 and 60. Used to have 63. I don't think we have them anymore. And then the 96-inch lights, and
Mhm.
it's good study lighting, but this is the way people are going now. They're taking out those old fluorescent bulbs, like they took out the old incandescent bulbs, and with the it
Yeah.
went from the incandescent to the Edison bulb, the Edison bulb to the Moog bulb, and then it went to fluorescent bulbing, and now it's going to the other bulbing. And you got to keep up with that. It's good to keep up because that's what the needs are going to be for start.
It's
If
the
you're thinking
progression.
about
It's the
yeah, if you're
progression of technology, the LED technology, Joe. And I
LEG,
think I
yeah,
shared with you, how I had my car upgraded to LED. I now have bulbs that will last 30 to 50,000 hours, and that's something when I had incandescent on my Lincoln.
yeah,
It every 6 months I'd have to change the bulb because of a power surge or what have you, right?
right, yeah.
And and now, and what a difference in terms of road
The light
visibility.
I can see, yeah, yeah, the
Oh,
beautiful. It's
the
beautiful
signs,
light.
the reflection is it's perfect. And I got to do a lot of driving in the countryside, so I need that lighting, for
Oh
the hours
yeah,
that I drive, right? But again, I mean, it's that this is what we have with technology. But again, what impressed me, Joe, is this: the guy that came and install is a guy that does auto. He does detailing and all that, and
okay,
on the
yeah,
side, he also installs that. And I paid him a good buck. I thought it was reasonable what I paid him for a 1 hour service. And young kid, 23, 24 years old, right? And we started talking business. I gave him a lead. Hey, why don't you go to where the limousine stand at the airport is and talk to all the taxi guys there,
yeah.
and and throw a couple of business cards around, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Get in on that and be that guy, that
That's it.
everybody as soon as
Yeah.
everybody knows your name, you're going to be that guy when they want their new LED bulbs changed.
Yeah.
So,
If guys out there, I mean, if you have a dead end job right now, just paying the bills 30, 40 hours a week, and you've got that extra time where you could devote, and plan, a side business, there's lots out there. There's
get
so
up on
much
the new
out there.
technology.
Yeah.
You know what you can do with that? The way I was thinking about this, and I'll kind of you guys know my two. If you these most of these guys have been listening, so they know my two men in a truck theory, and
Hmm.
about business. And what you can do is, I was looking at the price of the TX90, the TX. I think it's TX90 ballast, and
Hmm.
they were $50 a piece.
Yeah.
But if you ordered, if you took a loan and just kind of, we all take loans in our life for stupid things, motorcycles and boats and stuff like that. If you took a loan for the lighting on that, and maybe bought a couple hundred of those, you could probably get them for like 15 bucks a piece. And if you ordered them Japanese or somewhere from China,
From
you might be
China.
able to, yeah,
Yeah.
you might be able to get them cheaper, but you can still sell them at 50 bucks a piece.
Well, you got to do some research, and I was
Yeah,
doing that
do
on
your
eBay
research.
when I was do your research first, and especially stuff on eBay. I'm sure most guys already know, when you're ordering from certain places, you're taking a chance, right?
Yeah,
And in a way, I kind of took a chance with this with my LED conversion, but deal. I checked the product line and
yeah,
everything. That's I mean, this is all part and part when you're doing research and you're getting a business going. You know, you got to find out. You got to do your benefit analysis, cost and benefit analysis, right?
right. Yeah,
And
every
find out if it's the real deal. And and of course, if you're going to get poor product, that 6 months down the road is going to generate a
right.
service
Yeah,
call, Joe. You know about that, eh?
yeah. Generate a
And then
service
the
call, of
customer's
course.
pissed off, and then you got to rework the agreement, and
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you're trying
there's
to
planned
eliminate,
obsolescence in
right?
these things too, where you're going to get that service call,
Hmm.
and that's a good thing sometimes because you're going back. Uh, but if the part's busting, you don't want the part to bust. You want it just to be something simple and stupid where you can say, "Yeah, I fixed it. Cool, and I'm a
Yeah.
good guy."
Well, that's just it. But that's, again, that would be so cool, Joe. A guy, a Mgtow gets something going in a respective region. And, and if there are other guys that specialize in something that you can put a team together,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be fucking amazing.
Yeah,
you know, you get a
be
team
it
of guys, specialists. I mean,
be
maybe I'm
some.
just talking because I've been in scenarios like that where I was specialized in a particular area, right?
Yeah,
And I was working with other guys, and everything worked to meet and get the job done within a 12-hour span
yeah,
of
yeah. We
12
see.
billable hours.
You look around your life and you see these guys that are really successful because they jumped on the first thing. They jumped on something that worked. Guys,
Mhm.
you can be that guy too. Just you jump on that newest product line,
Mhm.
and you're the first guy out there selling it. You're the first guy pumping it, humping it through, and you're the first guy with the regional contract. Uh,
That's it. That's
and
it. And
you're the
this is
guy.
such a good thing. This is a good message, especially Joe, for guys in their early 20s, right? Guys who are in their 20s, they kind of having second thoughts or probably took a night course or whatever, but they have that drive and they got that moxie, if you know what I mean, right? I know this one kid. He's 23 years old. He's doing two things at a time right now. He's becoming a master roofer. Okay. And it's his own business at 23. And he's also, well, he's got the time and the energy, Joe, but he's also becoming right now apprenticing for a licensed mechanic. Right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and, he's driven, he's focused. And incidentally, Joe, he still likes to go out with girls, but
Yeah. That's
he
his
knows
own
where the draw
downfall.
line. The kid's in charge. The kid's in charge. He's small, and the thing is, he's a tiny guy, right? A small guy, right? But he's got the moxie, man. I love watching that. Sitting
Yeah,
back, listening to him, how he's going to plan his day and how he's going to go over his. I love it. I love
yeah.
listening to that. It's great to be in the presence of that, Joe. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You can be that guy. You can be the next. You don't have to. You don't have to wait on it. Sometimes most startups are very cheap. I mean, look at James. James is in here earlier, and he's on the newest cutting edge of something.
Well,
And
leading edge stuff, yeah, he's already shared a couple of things. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, I was in technology, but it's, pretty much, and you and I, Joe, were from that generation. What James, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, please do. I mean, he's doing leading edge stuff here,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's sometimes, I mean, for him to get funding and all that, I mean, he knows better again, but,
yeah. We talked
it
about
can,
that too. About if you
yeah,
if you get that printer, that 3D printer, and you get a part.
uh-huh,
If you create a part or find a part that's needed out there, uh, you make up a couple hundred of them, put them on Amazon. Your cost is low, your profits are high. Now you're selling.
yeah. Get a proper website, to promote your product, make it look decent online, a couple of testimonials and whatever. And there you go. And then have it linked with eBay. Off you go.
Right? Yeah. There's a lot of things. Just kind of like we talked about it one day. Keeping your eyes open, looking around your neighborhood, and when you're riding around or you're doing something and you see something like that needs to be fixed or that
Yeah.
needs to be
Yeah.
fixed and that needs a part or you're
Yeah.
constantly running into a part that somebody needs and everybody needs that same part and I could be that guy selling that.
Yeah,
uh
Joe, here's another scenario. I saw one guy when I was doing cable and telephone a couple, about 10 years ago. Saw this one guy going through the neighborhoods with just a little buggy, and
yeah,
he had an extension ladder, a 28-footer extension, couple of buckets,
Zenith,
squeegee,
Ohio.
not squeegees, but and he was cleaning eaves troughs. Okay, he would do a job, okay, in half an hour. Okay, do a full house right around the eaves trough, unplug, unclog, and everything. $100. He would do about 5 or 6 houses, and he'd just go door
Yeah,
to door, and
yeah,
do. He could make 500-600 bucks in a day, five
yeah,
houses.
be that guy that sees that,
Yeah,
be that guy.
exactly.
Timothy Blade says Zenith, Ohio. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
my big joke. I say I'm from Zenith, Ohio. That's what was that book called? It's written in 1923 about a guy that was just discontent with his marriage. Uh, Started with a B. Oh God. uh, but it's a really Mgtow book about just about how the men all white knighted, and they forced them back into loving his woman.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, there's a guy soon, but let's look at the chat here. Timothy Blades is suggesting good business idea would be making some kick-ass Mgtow shirts. The ones
Yeah,
available now are blah. Hey, there you go. I got Neo 100 saying he was thinking of doing a food truck. Hey, if you've
yeah,
got a recipe for a kick-ass snack, man, and you can put it all in a food truck and make it happen,
yeah. My son wanted to
by all
do
means.
that.
Yeah.
He's got this idea of, and that's the way he likes to do things in life. But he wants a food truck. He thought that was because he's seen it on TV, and he thinks that's the way to go. I don't understand food business as much as I should. I understand.
I've worked when I was younger. I used to have part-time jobs, bartending, and worked in catering companies. I actually catered to the Rolling Stones back in 1994. Their Voodoo
Oh
Lounge
yeah, you were
tour.
telling me about that when you went
Yeah,
to the party that one day.
yeah,
And
yeah. I was doing catering, so I worked with chefs and all that, and I learned how to, some tricks. And in other words, Joe, I should have a cooking channel for MGTOWs, but I've been holding
yeah,
back. Well, I've been a busy prick, so I'm just going
no,
on retreat. I might just actually film one on my retreat this upcoming week.
yeah. Speaking of
So
that food truck, my buddy Mike, he owns a fish sandwich truck,
oh
and
yeah,
every morning, you know what he does? He goes out fishing at the break of dawn, goes out fishing on the lake here. He
yeah,
catches 40, 50 perch,
yeah.
brings them in, cuts them up, throws them in the refrigerator, puts them in his truck, goes and he puts his truck on a local corner that lets him have it, uh, and he sells fish sandwiches. And
Oh, Timothy Blades is saying that fish tacos are popular, and I've seen it in our taco places. For
oh
those that have
yeah,
been around, fish tacos are huge. You want to
fish
start a food
tacos,
truck
yeah.
with that? There you go, man. Just make a nice taco that's kick ass and that keeps people coming back. You center yourself, position yourself at a corner. Maybe you might have to get a license or something for a food truck and to be in that locale. And you get the same customers coming in every day for your tacos, man. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the rib guy around the corner. He's got a truck and he's always out. He does pretty good business. And
Mhm.
when I want ribs, I know where to go. It's the rib truck.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
he's the best. Everybody in the place and everybody knows when you're the best at something. And here we don't have a lot of restaurants, so the rib truck guy, he's it.
One thing I got to admit, I love the way Americans do restaurant and do the whole hospitality thing. You guys are really good at that. I think here in Canada, the closest we get to that is Montreal. Montreal is a foodie capital, in
Oh
Quebec City.
yeah, we
But
got all kinds of restaurants. It's a boy, that's a cutthroat business to get in. My buddy started a couple restaurants and he's doing very good,
it
but he
is
got
labor intensive, that's for sure. But
yeah,
it's, if you're a passionate kind of individual, you love working with food and, you're just totally there, by all means, that's one way to go.
yeah.
I'll drive down if you've got a good fish taco going. I'll drive down to Cleveland or Zenith, Ohio.
Yeah, we're gonna go out to Tim's house and see if he's making fish tacos. See how those are.
Well, let's listen. Check out this one. The Don Mgtow. A good business idea is doing life coaching, focusing on men who are coming out of divorce. Then you feed red pill knowledge while rebuilding their sense of self worth.
Yeah, yeah, that's what what's that? Aaron Clarey does. He wrote a couple books and he does some kind of website for if you got to ask Aaron a question and then you pay the $19 or something and he tells you the truth the way he sees it. And
I'd be looking more at a guy who's gone through the human service counseling courses, a
yeah,
guy in his 20s and, and now he's had maybe 4 or 5 years seeing how the gynocentric system works in the human services field, gets fed up, probably watches a Mgtow video and says, fuck this, I'm going to create a therapy model or a group, model, that's Mgtow based. There's another opportunity. So in that regard, Don Mgtow, yeah,
right. Yeah,
I
you
can
can
see
write
something
a,
like that.
grant for stuff like that too. If
Yeah.
you get a good program going that's Health and Human Services thinks would be helpful to men going through those
Mhm.
situations,
Yeah.
uh, they'll give you the grant for it if you write the grant up. And but it's got to be we're really well done because the market is just it's huge, and you got every feminist in town vying for that Health and Human Service money.
Oh, of course. Oh, well, they're the first ones, and obviously the grants that are being shelled out. Not to mention the skimming off the top that these feminists are doing. Follow the money, and we'll find out for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever is the newest thing that was in now, it's male homelessness. I think they're actually putting some money into male homelessness, but it's just a big when women do male homelessness, it's just a big money draw how they can make money. It's not about going out there and really relieving the homelessness.
Yeah.
It's about lighter than air work. They don't want to do the actual work.
Mhm.
But hey, sooner or later here, the government's going to have to look at men's services too in an equal way.
I'm not going to hold my breath on that one,
Yeah,
Joe.
not going to hold your breath on
No,
that. Yeah,
seriously, I'm the kind of Mgtow, and I think we've talked enough. You and I, we know that the system is broke. We are here because negotiations have failed, and
yes.
that we need to be self-reliant as individual men, and thereby go our own way. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's my stance, and I'm willing to debate it. But I've been around the block, a couple of decades under my belt. And
yeah, if you got those skills and you can see where that money, you said it before, just go where the money is, and that's where the money is. And like the guy here said, whisper the Mgtow message in their ears while you're doing that horrible job, and that's because that's where the money is.
Yeah. Well, even when dealing with people, sometimes you don't have to whisper Mgtow. Just your power of example and the way you do things will leave a question in people's minds. There's something about that guy. What the fuck is it? Right?
Yeah, what is that about that guy? He gets it more than everybody else.
Yeah.
A one-room apartment with a bathroom, a downstairs cafeteria. I don't know what that's.
It's nice that we got 16 guys that just showed up. Wow, and it's just past midnight, and the chat room they're talking. Everybody, guys are talking up starting your own business. It's beautiful to see that, guys.
Yeah,
that would be expensive in California since we got it up to $15 an hour. Oh, these guys are really chopping. Joe, maybe we should do a business talk, Mgtow business, starting your own. I think we might be doing this tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, we could do that. Talking about, there's a million different ideas out there, and about starting your own business. And for the hands-on guys, the Home Depot. You go into Home Depot, and what do you see in the Home Depot? You see every single, from a doorknob to a door to speakers to printers to pots and pans. But in there you see trimming, you see drywall, you see them are all single jobs there that you can make money off of. Insulation, 2x4s, you build stuff out of those. You walk through and you can say, that's a job a guy does. That's a job a guy does. And you there's a million different, that's my 2 men in a truck thing. You just, what's the next newest thing that everybody's going to want? Is everybody going to want their doors changed right before winter? And throw a few doors in your car and your truck, and you just resell them and make that money while it's around. It's not going to be in the spring. What do people want in the spring? What's right now that people want? There's something that everybody wants. Rototilling, dirt, garden supplies, grass. What's a great grass fertilizer? If you get yourself
fertilizer. Again, you got to acquire equipment. You're going to need a loan, have a business plan, and all that stuff for that, right?
Yeah,
but again, it's not that much of an overhead. Sorry, Joe.
Not that much of an overhead. We were talking about that last year. You need a 100-gallon tank. You need a cart to put it on. You need 2 pumps, or a pump to spray it. You need something to adjust you can get an adjustable pump, pressure pump. You need 100 feet of hose, and you mix up your fertilizer for spring grass and go out there and hey, $45 a yard, $50 a yard. I'm going to underbid who's the lawn people, the big lawn people company, that do the, I'm going to underbid Scott's, and I want all the contracts. That's what's coming up right now. Fertilizer, lawn care.
Yeah. There's going to be all kinds of undercutting for sure. I mean, that's just the nature of business, right? I'm seeing it in the current industry I'm in now, and I have to make certain concessions and also trying to protect my income, so to speak.
Yeah, me
But
too.
that's the thing about when you're when you run your own show, you're not just showing up there at that time, punching in the card, and going for a coffee break. No, it doesn't work. I'm operating 7 by 24. Again, I signed
Yeah.
up for that. But does it give me fulfillment? Well, I've shared with you, Joe, in our private talks. My business right now is my way of awakening and of living as a Mgtow. Everything that we talk about, I'm getting my growth, my personal growth from my business, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to look at things now, and off the grid MGTOW. Uh, unless you want to go to that shop. Sometimes they pay steady, they pay good. But just gonna always be that guy. I did it for 20, 30 years in a shop.
Well, or how about the shop on wheels? Vention was,
Oh
remember a
yeah,
couple of months ago, he was talking about
he
that,
was talking
about
about
going
that
around
too.
and fixing up diesel engines. Get his early retirement, probably at 55 or 60. Again, he can speak for himself. But yeah, just have, get yourself a nice truck, right? Load it up with all the with all the tools that you need, and just go from town to town and do that and build up a name that way, doing things that way.
Oh yeah, the mobile mechanic. That they do make good money, mobile mechanics, because trucks break down coming through, and they need someone to come out there and fix it. The mobile mechanic,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's a good business there. We're also talking about gears and chains and stuff like that. It was hard to find gears and chains around my area, and I don't know if you guys live in a city area where there's a lot of factories and gearing and chaining, and just be the guy that is on Johnny on the spot with that motor control. Buy some motors, let's get some gears, some chains, and figure out the ratios and the 30 to 40 chain, whatever chain they need, and drive units, stuff like that. Uh, once people figure out you're there, they're going to call you because when something goes down, it goes down, and that goes with food industry and stuff like that too. They need gears, chains, and when their equipment goes down, they need someone to be out there on the spot.
Yeah.
There's a million different ideas. We
There's a
could probably.
million different ideas. I remember one story about 20 years ago, actually, a friend of mine at the time um, had this beautiful coffee table made out of marble,
Yeah.
and she had some guys working at her house doing and this guy happened to specialize in stonework, right? Well, he accidentally knocked a table, a beautiful and expensive marble table, a round table, coffee table, knocked it over, shattered to pieces. Well, she got pissed off, and the guy felt so guilty, and she just went off on him, right? Sure enough, the guy came back the next week, and he glued everything together in such a way with the marble and the grout and everything. He did a
Yeah.
design that she just got blown away. She said, "Holy shit! The table looks even better now than and than its original when it was all in one." Right? The guy did such good work. You know, Sometimes business opportunities can happen from a little mishap like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. You never know your talent. Men are
Yeah.
talented sometimes, and yeah, a little marble work. Marble's good to get into, and it's expensive flooring. If you got that kind of neighborhood around where that these people want that upper class stuff, and
Yeah.
you got to get. I was talking to my son about he wants to be he wants to go one of these bricklaying schools. It's just
Mhm.
take a bricklaying course and everything. And I told him, it's really big now. Stomping cement, the patterns and the stomp, so it looks like brick, but it's just cement.
Uh-huh.
Did I lose you? Okay. Yeah, you
Yeah,
put a
yeah, I think I
pattern.
got. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, you stomp patterns in cement, so you learn how to do that, and then you dye it, throw some polyurethane or whatever down on it, and it looks great, and people love it.
And again,
Uh,
technologies are also changing in those fields in
yeah,
mason, and this is where, young guys can really, zero in on the changing technologies that's affecting the electrical or the electrical trades, the construction trades, find something there that, just a small niche and then expand from there. You know,
Yeah.
see how how that industry's horizon look and where you can fit in there and extract some bucks. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. You just keep looking. Look around. There's a million things. From
Well, I think we should, we should have more of these focused business talks instead of just talking about women and the F word.
I don't want to talk about women anymore. I don't want to say the F word. The F word is off limits here anymore. And
Yeah,
yeah, that's it. I don't want to use the F word anymore in my life. They get too much attention as it is. Everything's about them. Nothing's about us. And
no, but that's what, that's probably the blessing in disguise as I'd like to see it, Joe. You know what? Let them have the glory. Let them have all the spotlight, because that creates the division and the gap for us to be working on what we need to do.
yeah, there being dancing monkeys out there, we can just quietly do what we need to do in the
That's right.
background, and
That's
just
right.
all walking away.
I think that's a byproduct of when you're going through that rage phase, that you're going to lash out, and that's what they're going to pick on. But once you get over that, it's like, who gives a fuck? Do I need to ask permission to be a man going his own way?
Uh,
Fuck no.
nope.
Fuck no.
Yeah, that's a Messenger's video this morning was about.
That's it.
Ain't asking
Spelled
permission
it out
anymore.
clearly.
Don't
Yeah,
care what everybody thinks. You know, uh, I'm a man and I don't need to ask permission.
that's it.
We dismiss that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what distinguishes. And again, it comes back to what I think what we were talking about, how convoluted, the whole Mgtow sphere is,
Oh
right?
yeah, it is
It's
lately.
convoluted, and I said this even last year, that expect the factioning off to happen, right? And in a sense, I think that it's a strength for Mgtow. Let there be, because it'll boggle their minds even more, to the point that, hey, that gives us an opportunity for us to keep going with what we're doing, and we're doing just fine.
We're doing just fine. Yeah, yeah. We just keep on the right road, and it's gonna work out. Everything works out. Well, I didn't want to make this one too long. I was just going off there at the beginning about something, and I'm gonna have to get some sleep here.
Me too. I got to be up another
Yeah,
couple hours, but hey, this was good. Actually, doing this for about an hour or two on a Sunday night, Joe.
yeah. I
Throw
like
down
that.
midnight edition.
Throw down midnight edition. Someday we'll have just a total throw down all day if we can just get enough guys in, and keep it going, and the 4 hour radio spots.
Well, let's ask the guys in the chat there. What do you guys think about having business talks, more focused, you know, business discussions, and going forward with owning your own business? I'd like to hear about it. Put it in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, if we just schedule and plan an actual, we can go read up on what we need to read up on and give some real solid advice on.
Yeah, well, let's get some concrete topics, for
Yeah, some
discussion.
concrete.
Okay, so that we can be focused and centered. Okay,
Right.
and guys listening in. I mean, we've got 11 guys listening in right now. If you have any ideas for Mgtow business startups, okay, please send us our ways to the throwdown, and maybe Joe, we can set up a separate podcast and we can focus in on that.
Yeah,
You know,
if we have something to focus on and not be so general, about
that's right.
everything, we can, like widgets, something like that, start a business. Everybody talks about when you start a business, you're talking about widgets,
Yeah.
and so, we can
Timothy
go
Blake is saying only if Warhorse mentions the group.
monitors the groove. Yeah.
Monitors, sorry, mentions
Yeah.
monitors.
He's our monitor.
Yeah,
So
Veritech
with
is saying
that,
talk to Marcus. I'll bet he has a few good ideas. You mean metaphysics, Marcus? They're Veritech? Do
yeah,
tell. Yeah, I
yeah,
think that's who he meant. So yeah. Well, Joe, I'm ready to crash, man.
yeah, me too. I'm sorry about going off late at night, guys. I just wanted to get something off my chest, and gynocentrism was all on my chest, and I needed to blow it off. And with that, we're gonna make this a short one, manageable. You can go back and listen if you didn't listen in, and I hope each one of you guys are doing good, and get some sleep, and be Mgtow. And what do we always say? Just be, you know, be. With that, you guys take care.